How long did it take for God to confirm your wife was your wife? From the point you inquired about her to getting confirmation? Great question. Well, let me tell you how it all began. While I was actually in my purpose, you probably know the story, but just in case you haven't heard it, I was literally preaching when she walked in. She didn't come to my Bible study when I was in the lobby getting ready. She didn't come into my Bible study after the message was over. She literally walked in while I was functioning in my purpose. That's number one that you have to understand about how God confirms. He usually, before he confirms, he brings a person within the presence of your purpose, or in the proximity of your purpose, or at the peaks of your purpose. And when you are functioning in your purpose, then you'll begin to attract purpose pieces. Then you'll start attracting your purpose person. And so that was the beginning stages. But as my wife and I were courting or getting to know each other, there was something that leaped in me that said that this is a purpose person. See, in order for you to know your purpose person, you got to be with the one that gave you purpose. Because when you become more familiar with God and are familiar with God's purpose pieces that are prerequisites before your purpose person, then you will begin to connect the residue. Then you'll be familiar with the residue. You'll be familiar. Oh, this is familiar. See, I done had like 8 or 9 God things come into my life before she came into my life. God buildings. Like all the buildings that I used unplugged in were God buildings. The things that God allowed me to do were so godly that the devil couldn't copy. Do you know God is so God that the devil can't copy it? So when you begin to become so familiar with God, then you'll begin to see the distinctions between God things and counterfeit things. So every girl that wasn't her that came into my life, they didn't have the same godly residue that she had on her. And so because I was in my purpose, which attracted purpose pieces that made me familiar with what purpose pieces have on them, the confirmation, the bearing witness of spirit, the leaping in the wombs, if you will, that confirmed that this is a purpose piece, then when she came into my life, something jumped familiarly with the other things, how they jump. Oh, that facility. Oh, yeah, that's a God facility. And then now my wife is even inspired in awe of how those things are still working in my life. We had a situation on Sunday where a purpose piece came into my life. And we just had a conversation about that purpose piece unknowingly before we got to the church. When we got to the church, the purpose piece is right there beside us. So she even sees the confirmation of God through our lives. But the span between me figuring it out, because there was a time where I was like, man, this is a purpose piece, but what kind of piece? Is this a help my ministry piece, or is this a helpmate piece? See what I'm saying? But as I became and still grew in God and fellowship with him, it became clearer and clearer the nearer and nearer I was to God. And so then you have to understand about confirmation. Confirmation always confirms. Right now, my marriage, 5th year next week, is still confirming itself. Not because God is making it confirming. It ain't like God's pushing the confirmation button. No, any purpose piece naturally confirms itself. Every time I speak, my speaking confirms that I'm a speaker. My books, when I reread them, they confirm that you are a writer. When I look at my wife and we have different experiences and different challenges and whatever, it just naturally confirms. Why does God do that? Why does speaking confirm that I'm a speaker? Why does God keep allowing my writing to confirm that I'm a writer? Why does God continue to allow my wife to confirm that she's my wife so I can keep a firm grip on it? One thing about purpose pieces, they don't come in twos. They come exclusive as one of one. And that's going to keep me a firm grip on this. I'm not going to try to let go of this bird to try to catch a bird. Catching a bird is already difficult in the first place. Catching a God piece is already difficult in the first place. The waiting, the worrying, the concern. I don't got time to go through that again. But it does sparks hope. It does spark like excitement when it naturally confirms itself. So I hope that even though I may not answer your question spot on, what I added to the discussion, I pray that it gave you some insight on your question, but also letting you know that we don't know what the time frame is. Right now, I enjoy marriage so much I don't forgot how long it took, but I know what it took for us to take a liking to each other, for us to be married. Hope that helped. Thank you so much for watching my video. I pray that it was a blessing to you. And if it was a blessing to you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. And also make sure you check out the links in the description box below. Links to my books, card games, coaching programs that I believe will help you grow holistically for God's optimal use. I love you guys. I'll catch you next video. Peace.